faces and window. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Web3 TEA. I think this is episode 5. We're very excited to be here as usual. Once again, I sent Matt Bartlett an email, a text this morning. He is a producer, the lead booking agent, and lead talent. So this guy is wearing multiple hats for this show and episode as usual, and I really appreciate all his help.
Talent's a stretch, but thank you.
Today we have a very special guest, Lucas Verra. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Verra? I can't roll the R's.
You made it. You made a perfect presentation. It's okay. That's how it's done.
So Lucas is from POAP, POAP, and very excited to talk about what POAPs are, why they're important, why we think they're a really cool blockchain application, and we're going to talk to Lucas for a little while, and then we're going to get into some updates for the VanEck community NFT. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. And then we're going to give away some of our VanEck community NFTs. Once again, we're going to be doing trivia questions. Some of them are really easy. Some of them are not so easy. But the internet is your friend. This is an open book trivia question. And so for the people in the chat who are going nuts like they were last time, I want an NFT, answer the trivia questions correctly and you'll get the NFT, right? So a couple people have won them already. So Lucas, what's going on? Why are you here? Who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you at?
So many questions. So first of all, I'm in New York City, best city in the world, it seems. I came here to do this live show, but also because of NFT NYC, that small event. But the big event is this live show. Okay, NFT NYC is just something that is around. And so my name is Lucas. I'm the founder and CEO of POAP France, which is the European branch of POAP protocol. We'll dig later in about what POAP is, but I don't. You have, John. You have a chat there, so can we have some form of known our audience and ask them how many do everyone know what POAP is, or is there someone that do not know what POAP is? Let's have the.
We got 28 people. Yeah, does anybody know what a POAP is out there? I mean, I know what it is, but does anybody have a POAP? I've got one. Everybody on the call has got a POAP. I know some people. We did. Was it the second show we did with Kareem, where we gave away POAPs. So people who have watched the show got a POAP on the second show. So that's cool. But yeah, what is a POAP? I mean, what's going on there?
Great question. So POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, right? Super easy to understand, and it's about any event being memorable, handing, giving those free NFTs to commemorate the moment, right? POAP is the bookmarks of your life, and it's a digital collection of any moment that is worth remembering. So this live show might be one. Wink, wink. I mean, at NFT NYC, there was many POAPs, like the official one of the convention, of the exhibition, but also meeting someone is a memorable moment. And to be honest, in this, for example, if we were together in this card, I tap the phone of the person that I'm meeting, and I'm handing them the "You've met Lucas" POAP. And Patricio has the same, and many guys of the team have the same. So basically, it's crystallizing a moment through an NFT, and it provides a lot of smiles and great moments, because what's not to like about a free NFT that crystallizes a memorable moment, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, you brought up. I like to ask like random questions that come up into my head when our guests come on. So I've got a couple, and so you're calling POAPs an NFT, right? But so you do consider POAPs, they're an NFT. That's what they are for you.
Correct. Yeah, technically they follow the ERC 721 NFT, so super legal, super legit.
And so from my understanding, though, they're not on the main Ethereum chain. So if you wanted to transfer it, or there's a little bit, it's not necessarily as straightforward as going on to OpenSea and buying an NFT from somebody, right? You can only get it by being at whatever, by meeting you and getting, getting the, I wish I had a Lucas POAP, but meeting you in person and getting the Lucas POAP, or being on our, coming to our show and getting this QR code, right? But that, can you just send it? I can't send it out. I can't, if I get a POAP, I can't send it to my brother, right? Because he wasn't
No,
there.
yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So we'll deep dive a little bit. So POAP is an ERC 721. So it follows and respects all of the protocols that an ERC 721 is, and it's a digitalized asset that you own and that you can transfer. Of course, like any NFT, you cannot copy paste, but you can transfer. So, but your initial part of the situation is completely correct. The POAPs are minted on a sidechain Ethereum. That's why the Ethereum address is part of the process for you to get it, but you won't receive it on mainnet. Why is that? Well, because POAPs are free to mint. Well, they're free to mint for the collector, but POAP pays the little gas fees that minting on that sidechain cost incurs. So, of course, the key part of the reflection here is that minting on that sidechain is way more cheap. It is cheaper and simpler than minting on mainnet or Polygon or others. So that's a choice that Patricio and the POAP team founder team has done many years ago. Whenever there was no L2s, no Polygon, no Arbitrum, no nothing. But the problem of mainnet costs were going evident. So how can we make, because again, remember that POAP is crystallizing a memento, is a smile, right? So if I wanted to give you my POAP and I give you, but now you have to pay $50 to get my token, I could be a scam, right? It could be inducing you to pay something is not a good way to make people smile. So again, POAP abstract all the conversation about gas fees, about fluctuation of prices of Ether, and makes you to receive that POAP on your address, on your wallet, but in a side chain. I don't know if you want to go deeper or if it's good enough as an
I think that's good for now. I guess what we're trying to say is it's built on Ethereum, but it's not the main chain. And the benefit, from what I can understand, is that it's free for me to get one, versus if I mint a free NFT on Ethereum, I'm gonna have to pay the gas fee, which isn't a lot right now. But when Ethereum's rocking, I mean, it can be $50 to $100 to claim an NFT,
Correct.
right? So that's
exactly
a big benefit. So you keep mentioning Patricio. Mm-hmm. Like, why don't you tell us a little about? I have a lot of questions. Like, did you invent POAPs? Are you the inventor of POAPs?
No. Patricio is the founder. There's also a couple of other founders. That idea was built during a hackathon in Denver 2019, if I remember correctly. And so many years ago, many POAPs ago. And yeah, basically the story is rather simple, right? This Ethereum community was thriving with developers around the world, many conventions, many hackers minds getting together. And at some moment, as Bitcoin and Ethereum are distributed ledger to some truthful information, at some moment they were saying, okay, how do we know who were where, right? And then the basic concept of POAP was born. It's about giving NFTs to crystallize a moment again. And then it started at Denver.
Yeah.
Bartlett, I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah, no, just a couple of thoughts. So Lucas was nice enough to help us create a POAP for our consensus event. And I'm greeting folks at the door. I'm trying to explain what they are. I was referring to them as sort of a memory on the blockchain, which if that's appropriate, okay. So look, we're hoping to use them more frequently. You're aware of that, to sort of reward engagement for our events, experiences. How are you seeing other corporations, other projects incorporate them? And then maybe, are there any other major brands thinking about this technology yet besides VanEck?
Well, the short answer is yes, and
Good.
many. Yes, I mean, we have the chance also at POAP, the ecosystem, but myself working on it, but anyone liking and doing POAPs. POAP is like the simplest way for someone to acquire an NFT, ERC 721 compatible NFT, because it's easier to understand, a digital memento, and it's easy to get. It's free to mint. It's free to mint, right? And so a lot of companies are calling us. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Warner Music Group has officialized its partners with POAP, and then of course I cannot give you all the names, but French Luxury is very interested in it. We have clients also in the auction houses in Europe. We have
What do you say? What do you mean when you say auction houses?
well, like the Sotheby's and the Christie's of the world.
Got it.
And
are those one-off?
so,
Are these deals like one-off deals where we're gonna do an event, we want you to do one, or are you trying to get like a consistent, multi-event thing set up?
it's a great question. It's a great question. Like everything, whatever is new and people are curious, it satisfies the curiosity to do the one-off, right? So the strategy in general is to one-off, seeing client understanding that it's not that hard, the community of the client understanding that it's not that hard, that it's funny and that is cool and that is a smile, and then up to there you build a relationship in order to have many events. And but it's not only the concatenation of events, right? It's not that if it's not one off, then it's many, one after the other. It's about building a story in time where POAPs are the breadcrumbs of that story, right? And time could be 3 months, could be 6 months, could be 3 years, and of course then the brand has to have some form of visibility, curiosity, and being able to engage. But we, at least in Europe, we're having our clients, once it start, like any collector, once it start you want more, and that's how it happens. And of course we have other Web3 native companies collaborating with that they got it many years ago, and now they find in our services a way to do it more on a more clean way, on a more time, on a more professional way, and that's how they call us. An example that we made here during New York NYC, NFT NYC, but with many other events, it's Ledger. I don't know if those guys. I'm wearing now this because they're making a fashion statement, and it does make sense to me, and I like collaborating with them. But yeah, those guys are doing a lot of events, a lot of education, a lot of securizing the ecosystem. And and their Ledger is doing POAPs at all of their shows, like in Lisbon, in Paris, now in New York, next week in Paris again. And then of course it's a story to be built.
Yeah, and we're actually going to have them on a future YouTube show in a few weeks. So that'll be terrific. One question I have, we recently heard about soulbound tokens.
People are asking about it in the chat too, Matt. Somebody just said, somebody said, wouldn't it make sense to have these POAPs as SBT soulbound tokens?
Yeah. So just to help the audience, non-transferable, publicly verifiable. They act as sort of like a CV for Web3 users, showing memberships, credentials, affiliation. So that was going to be my question. Is this innovation additive to your business, disruptive? Is it going to change your approach at all? Maybe some thoughts there.
It's a great question. It has been mumbling around since a couple of weeks now, since Vitalik blog post where he was talking about his POAP collection. Maybe we can find the link. If you go Vitalik Soulbound, you will find the blog post. But yeah, there is no. The short answer is it's a conversation. There is no official Ethereum convention about it. there is more of an explanation that basically a soulbound is something that is attached to you, but you, what is you in Web3, right? Is it your wallet? Is it your ENS? Is it a collection of wallets? That's to be defined. There's also other problems that we can discuss later, but the to reply to your question regarding POAP is today officially POAP does respect what an ERC 721 is, but that is basically it's your token, you do whatever you want with it, but it's your prerogative, VanEck or whomever do POAP to enforce utility based on the fact that a token should not have moved, right? So basically, if imagine you say you're doing a POAP today for a live show, for example, and then 1 year from now, you would say, okay, whomever got the POAP of the NFT NYC 2022 live stream will receive, I don't know, a hand sanitizer. That's what I'm saying this because I have it in front of myself, which is it's a great present.
Sure.
But you could say we'll send that only to token holders that we can see on the blockchain that they haven't moved their token, assuming, but again, it's a proxy that is not perfect because moving wallet does not necessarily means that you have sold, right? It could be just, now I have a ledger and maybe I want to move my assets to my newfound, more secure wallet, and then is that I'm still the same, right? It's same Lucas, and I haven't sold myself to myself, but at some moment. So the long answer is it does require a bit more of defining of what a soulbound is and what is the use cases. But today, POAP do respect the most basic aspect that is transferable and true ownership, and you do whatever you want with it.
Cool. JP, do we want to do a couple?
Yeah,
of
let's do some trivia questions. All right, let's keep the audience engaged.
Yeah. All right. So look, I'm going to do 3, and whoever gets the answers, put them in the chat. If JP acknowledges you as the winner, you'll send an email to nft@vaneck.com, and we'll get you the
Let's
form.
go hard to easy, Matt, because your first question you have on here is hard.
2 weeks. Oh yeah. That's fair. All right, so sustainable forestry has played an important part in the VanEck family for many years. VanEck forest properties are now made up of how many acres of land? So that one is going to take some research on the website. So I'm looking for how many acres of land makes up the VanEck forest project. So that's 1. Second, what year did Hamilton present his report on the public credit? And then third, where did the first presidential inauguration take place? That's all I'm going to give you. So
in
where did that?
1789, right?
Yeah, all right.
And give him the president too.
1789.
The first president of the United States was. That's not the actual question. But, where was the first?
Yeah, where did it take place?
Where was the first presidential inauguration? What year did Hamilton create his report on public credit? And how many acres is the VanEck Forest Project?
That's right.
So, man, your questions are hard.
Well, we're giving them 35 minutes here to figure it out. I know JP's got 2, and
can I add one a bit more easy?
All right, Eshwar, you won that one. 9,400 acres. I love it. Good job.
Impressive. That was quick.
Eshwar won the VanEck Force one, which is the hardest question. Mike Smith is busting out what year. We don't want to know what year it is. We want to know where did the first presidential inauguration occur? What was the location? So Eshwar, email nft@vaneck.com.
Good job.
Good job. Very, very good sleuthing.
All right. So let's say somebody wants to distribute these POAPs. What's the easiest way to learn? Where would you direct someone? Sort of the baby steps.
POAP.xyz, and then there's a button that says FIQs, and then a bit of reading. To be honest, I would say I think all of POAP agrees that we're not making stuff super easy for the issuers. Because why? In today, it's more of a feature than a bug, meaning that POAP is being solicited everywhere. Anyone has an idea for a POAP, maybe not the best one. I've heard one.
Yeah.
I heard one that wanted to give POAP to anyone clicking on a button, on a website. Right. Give a POAP. I want to know when they click. And, man, that's analytics. That's not a POAP, right?
Yeah.
But in order to engage with the buy now button, and so there's a curation body also. We'll talk about that later. But basically, you go to POAP.xyz, you read the facts, you try to wrap your head around it, and then you will find the solution. It will take some time, most probably. It's a bit of a frustrating first attempt. It's hard to get it really right on the first time. That's why we exist also, to help brands not to feel that pain and to go strict to happiness. But yeah, POAP.xyz, FIQ buttons, and then a bit of reading. My intuition is that anyone curious enough that has and that is willing to learn, because there's also people are asking to do POAPs for pushing a button and not taking the time of understanding what conceptually a POAP is, and then the interaction with the curation body, and we can enter that part later. It's kind of frustrating, right? Because if you don't want to read, you cannot read. You can push button, and then you will wait for an answer that might not come ever, because the use case is not great, and the curation body is solicited by at least 400 or 500 events per week. And and POAP is still a team of 80 to 100 persons. So, but there is engineering, there's biz dev, there is operation, there is legal aspects, and so the curation body do the best they can, but it's not a perfect process, and we know that. But to be honest, it also acts like filtering, right? A bit of friction is also great for filtering the use cases that are not well envisioned. Does that make sense?
It does. Actually, it happened to me. I tried to create not understanding the protocol initially. I was going to send it to people as a membership card, as sort of a guild, and it did not get approved. And there was some frustration, but it's because I didn't understand it initially and really the process behind it. So shame on me, but I could totally understand what you're saying. So
no, and again, I see it when I give it. A POAP is a smile, right? It's a moment, and to be honest, you don't smile when you click buttons, or not all the buttons are worth a smile, right? And so it multiply that silly conversation times too much in a single week, and you will understand how, of course, we know that issuers are getting hard time, and of course we ask people to read and to experiment and to try and start small to get it first. Not everyone does it, to be honest. Some of them are frustrated, and well, I guess we're trying to make it better each day, one day at a time.
Yeah.
But then again, my role in Europe is less about the product, that it's more about helping brands and communities to understand it without that frustration part that you receive. And even if you get frustrated, then having some caring hand to explain what you could do better in order to participate more in this ecosystem of digital memorabilia on the blockchain, and to ease the pain, because again, I've been there also, right? At first you don't get what's the difference between a POAP website and mint links, and the mint links are given, but then maybe you don't need them. It's not easy, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, and there was even a session at the conference this week that was I think it was called "Why Every Brand Will Launch an NFT or Have an NFT," and this just seems like one of the best natural ways to start, right? For those that were on the Brandverse YouTube a few weeks ago, I was listening to the AMAs. They reward the listeners with the POAPs, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't want to miss a call because I don't want to miss out on this POAP and what it means down the road. And hopefully we'll kind of have that mindset even with our own community as we seek to reward them
Yeah,
too.
that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to say join, and then we're also doing it with the NFT giveaways too. Like we're trying to say if you want an NFT, I sent an email to the whole firm because a lot of people we only created 1,000 NFTs, right? And we had a lot of signups, 50,000, right? So
Wow, congrats.
there's people in our company who are like, give me the NFT, give me the NFT, and it's like, all right, well if you want one, we give them away every time we do these shows.
Yeah.
And if you really want one, I mean, like just log on and watch the show. So we're trying to do the same thing.
Attend your mind.
Yeah. Do we want to do? Okay, so let's see, Matt. Do you have anything else?
I guess before we go to our NFT stuff, maybe just like a little blurb on how you're thinking about the space aside from POAPs. Like, where else are you spending time, money, tokens, projects, like anything that you want to highlight that you find interesting?
Yes. It's not a project. For me, I have the chance also to live in Paris, and which is a great city. In Paris, something special is going on towards the aspect that is less financial and it's more culture. And of course, culture also means money. That's not a problem with that. But what is happening, and especially in this bear market, that to be honest, it is kind of a godsend. At least for me, hopefully I'm not hurting any feeling of people having losing a lot of money, and hopefully we are all right. But this freezing part, right? This winter, this bear market, also has put some form of chill the fever, and fever in the sense of the bad sense, right? Our body, when they get fever, that something is bad, and we need this chilling time, to see what the actual mainstream and democratization will be. I guess the previous cycle was not completely democratized. The figures are those punks that someone could mint for free at some moment in time, but then it became this phenomena where no one can enter, nor the board apes, nor the invisible friends, nor the the owls. I don't remember the name of the owls. There's many, nor the woes, no the world of women, and so that's why I like POAP a lot, right? Because everyone can be invited. But besides that, what I'm trying to say is that this bear market is bringing a bit more of building and less of shilling, a bit more of reflection and a bit less in marketing. And I won't say the next cycle would be full democratization. I guess the next cycle would be the AOL of the internet, right? This cycle for me feels like the first web pages. Some hackers getting to build their web pages, taking time, and it's kind of ugly, and you don't know what it is. It's very visual, but it's not business. It's not an application. So that was the first cycle. And I think the next one will be the AOL, right? So everyone can connect, everyone can have a view on it. Maybe some big companies will take some part of a big domination side, but I think we're getting in the thing when in the 90s it was, well, that internet thing, I don't know what it is, but I guess I have to be there because all the cool people are there, and the vibe is there, and the reflection is there, and it's a future. And so that was the board apes, the punks, right? So NFTs, culture, price, asset, I don't understand it well, but I need to be there. And some of them were entering these in this period, and some of them are still waiting. But I think then this one is about building and preparing the next phase. And also, well, to put the finger on POAP, but that's also what we do, right? Today we're probably minting the POAP number 5,300,000, which is a lot, but it's not everybody. And we are also, POAP is also building on their infrastructure, on their engineering, on their internal processes, like the one that we discussed. in order for the next cycle to be even more inclusive and more memories to be crystallized on the blockchain.
So you said this a couple times, and I just want to hear what your opinion on this. Everybody's got different opinions, but you said, we're going to democratize the ecosystem, right? And then you kind of said, well, if you didn't get a Bored Ape at first, unless you spend $100 and some thousand, you're not get one now, right? So do you think that democratization means bringing the prices down for these kind of blue chip assets? Do you think that means getting everybody the opportunity to get in early? Like, what does that mean to you when you say democratizing? Because it's a big word.
It's not about price. Price always will be, everyone is entitled to vote, and you don't have to pay to vote, right? And so for me, democratization is not about entering a blue chip project at an absurd price. It's about understanding that a community that, it has not to be this thing where they do parties at New York City. Your community could be your building, could be your tennis club, it could be the parents of the school kids. That will get some form of NFTs. And Patricio, and I do think like him that many of our hours online that we're spending will become NFTs. This live chat, it will be an NFT soon, but imagine I wasn't here. It should be an NFT, something that we participated in, and not some form of asset that Skype and Microsoft possess, and probably taking the AI and hearing what we say and making their product better. We should be part of that because we are collaborating to the product. And an email would be an NFT because, Google do make money with the emails that we send because they do analyze it and they make the product better. So again, we're spending 10 hours a day. A bit more in my case, but let's assume 10 hours a day in front of digital assets, and we are not getting most of the value. And again, I'm not that maxi guy that says let's revolutionizing everything and Google and Facebook are the devils of the world. No, they made a value proposition that is connect to my website, give me data, I will give you your friends, the pictures, the Skype, the fact that we are talking in 10 minutes preparation, we're talking distinct parts of the world, and we are in the States. We could be in really Japan, France, and the States. So that's the proposition. But now, as everyone is spending much more time, the democratization of the value will be part of that internet life. And again, it's not about buying a Bored Ape at $1. It's about being able to participate in those mechanisms really, really easily. Is that, yeah, go ahead.
That makes and that's how we think about it too. That's Web3, right? Web 1 is you reading a newspaper on the internet. Web 2 is I'm posting pictures on Instagram or whatever, and then Instagram is making a ton of money because it's a lot of people on there, and they're making money off of my pictures, right? Correct. And then Web 3 is I'm posting pictures on blockchain, Instagram, or whatever, and I am also participating economically in the success of a platform. Yeah. So you're kind of empowering the users of the internet economically, and everybody's participating, as opposed to the toll collectors, the platforms right now, which are taking 30%. You rent a house on Airbnb, they take 20 to 30%. The one thing I always use as a quip is okay, you spend $15 on Spotify a month. How much of that actually goes to the artists that you listen to, right? It's like nothing. It's got to be, right? It's got to be under $1 or even under 50 cents of that $15 a month. So what this whole ecosystem, whether we're talking about NFTs or Web3 applications that are right now just coming out, is we're trying to take out those middlemen and trying to take some of that money that was going to them and kind of spread it around the circle a little bit more evenly to people who are involved.
To be honest, I like your example, but I also want to, to be honest, I don't think the Web3 Spotify where every artist gets rewarded something that they, there's also law of the market, right? And not every musician should be a millionaire, because if not, I'm dropping the computer, I'm playing the guitar that I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a value, of course, in centralization. There is value. Facebook do give value, right? Back, not in form of actual dollars or money or currency, but it does. And so what I'm trying to say is that I think it's going to take at least 10 years to get to the infrastructure that we have today in Web2 to be reversed on the economical model where money is part of the flow, right? As you said, the middleman will be, we will still have pipes, but then the pipes will be for information and currency. And a lot of things will change whenever, because one thing is to transport information or water, and another thing is to transport information or water with actual value like currency. And I will take, in my case, I think at least 10 years to rebuild the pipes, thinking that actual currency can convey on the transaction.
So why don't we make this an NFT? What do we got to do today, Lucas? You got for our POAP? What do we have?
Well, great question. So I prepared to you guys what we do for live streaming situation, because a little information that we haven't shared yet is that POAP has a bit of a problem with farmers, what we call farmers. We want to tell you, I mean, as POAP is so fun and free, and there's people scouting the internet in order to get as much POAP as possible. And some of our brands, I mean, we take a lot of resources, cognitive resources, technical resources to avoid that, because a memento that is supposed to be shared between a group of people, whenever it gets leaked, then the memento is kind of bastardized, right? And you might even don't want to remember that, because then that wasn't the moment. The moment was us, not us and a lot of other people. And so basically we have problems with farmers, and some of our clients asking, how is that possible? And to be honest, I don't know. The only thing that I can compare is, there were people looking for Bitcoin in 2010, and it wasn't free, but it was cheap enough, and you wouldn't know what to do with it. But some the ones that ate in at that moment, well, good for them. And I think that something similar is happening for those farmers, assuming that if they have a lot of POAPs, they somehow will be valuable, maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now. And well, we have that problem. So why did I brought this? Because we're going to share a QR code. But before sharing the QR code, I want to tell our audience that there is a little game to be played whenever they scan the QR code, in order for POAP, to identify you as a real human and not a farmer bot. So how does it happen? Basically, you will scan the QR code, you will read an instruction, but basically what you have to do, but please pay attention. You gotta match the name of the color on top with the button that is below. So for example, it would say click the black button, and then there is 3 buttons below. So you have to click the black button. The conversation here is that the black could be in another color. So please read the name of the color on top, and then click the button. And then we have 20. It's a game that plays during 20 seconds. You can fail, and then you can go again. But yeah, let's share it. And let's share the POAP.
Okay, so I'm gonna share it right now, and we forgot to test the screen, so I'm gonna be fixing your camera while we test the screen. I'm gonna leave this up for maybe a minute or two, and then I'm gonna do it too, because I haven't done it yet. So we'll all do it together, and then we can all yell at you when it doesn't work. And
Perfect.
That's what happened last time we did the Brandverse one, and some people couldn't get the cue. It's not working. It's like, okay, it worked for me. So. All right, I'm gonna switch to the faces, and I'm gonna fix your face, and then you guys can carry on while I do this. All right, so there you go. It's up now. So, and then I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, go to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube. You've got the link, I think. I'm colorblind too.
No, you should, and also, to be honest, it is prepared for
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, yeah. No, we're in good shape.
because it's the name of the color. It's not the actual color.
Nice.
All right. All right. So now I got your fix your face, Lucas. Looking
Don't
very
worry,
good.
don't worry. The
No,
most
no, no,
important thing
no.
is
You're
the code.
the talent's got to be taken care of here. All right. I'm claiming mine now too.
So this is a.
Oh, they're getting claimed. 8
This is
claimed.
really cool. How
Verifying.
is this a new feature, Lucas, on your for preventing the farming?
It is a new feature. I mean, it's not that new. It has a couple of months, but yeah, I mean, we are actually making it each time better and more sophisticated, in order to combat, to fight the bots. But let's have it a bit more. I want to make sure that everyone is getting the POAP, and if they fail at the colors, they can scan again. That's I mean, there is no. I mean, there is wrongs, but you can make you can make it, you can play again. Again, it's to avoid farmers. So yeah, let me know.
And you
More.
need a You need a wallet for this. If you don't have a wallet, then
No, I mean, to
can
meet
you
the
put your
actual
email
you
in?
need a wallet, but then they at the end they can put an email. If you don't have a wallet, an email works, and you will receive one email with just one instruction in order to follow the process and have the POAP. So that's also why POAP is so solicited, right, with brands, because actually we can invite people to do a step in Web3 without a wallet, which is pretty great, right?
Yeah. Very nice.
Let me open it up. Let me see it. It looks cool. So, is this a capture function? Is this like a new kind of capture? This game we just played, this test, like for the bot. Is this from capture? Or did you guys
it's
design
like a
this?
homemade captcha.
Nice.
That has other features and other protection. And to be honest, sometimes, I mean, this is a game of cats and mouse. So sometimes farmers also get to defy our technologies, because we're doing a lot of stuff at the same time, and being able to prevent from bots is one of our most enduring task. But it's also about onboarding people and making actual designs and explaining. But so yeah, it's all about trying to preserve the actual purity of the moment.
It's just doing it right now. I just did it, right? And Bartlett, you did too.
Yeah.
It's easy to do. It makes sense, and I have it now, right? And what's interesting, and I'm gonna throw some egg on my face, but like a couple weeks ago, on an old wallet, I have my old the first one we got from Brandverse, the Brandverse VanEck one, and that wallet, let's just say it got compromised, right? So that POAP's still in my old wallet, so it's very cool, it's very easy to use, and I don't know what else to say. It's just cool.
It is cool, man. And
only 22 claimed. I mean, that's just sad.
No, but also what you're not seeing is that because it's not there as clear, is the people signing in with, I mean, claiming it with an email. After the live stream, I will tell you. I need to go to a back office basically, but I can tell you the number. Well, we'll discuss it later. But I can give you the
Oh,
the
I'm showing
number,
my screen.
the number of the emails that have been used to claim the NFT. Again, POAP, it works with also with email, and so yeah, we'll get that information later.
That's great.
Yeah, so people who did it by email, just put your email in. If you don't have a wallet, put your email in there, and then we'll send you the deal.
Exactly.
So it's cool. All right, well, I think the people who wanted it got it. I think it was up for a while, so I'm going to switch back, guys. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Matt, I feel like we had a little agenda here today, and we haven't gotten to the VanEck stuff. Do you want to zip through that real quick?
Yeah, we could go fast because I don't want to get in the way of good, productive conversation.
Yeah,
so I shared a trailer for our third video, The Key, on Twitter today. This afternoon, I'm going to put together a nice thread with the full video and some of the updates that I'm about to touch on. So in terms of utility, that was the big event happening today. We want to make sure our community members understand what's this benefit we're getting by having these NFTs and signing up. So first of all, we made a decision that everyone who signed up, whether you got the NFT or not, you're in the community and you're gonna qualify for, call it the base level features, and I'll tell you what those are. So one, NFT and crypto research. So we're gonna bundle some research that Matt Siegel, our head of digital asset research, puts together, as well as mine. I'm authoring a Substack tied to NFT Alpha, which will be sent periodically, so you'll have that. You will get a first look at unique investment opportunities, and I say this, during sign up, folks chose their investor qualification, whether you were an accredited investor or a qualified purchaser. So you will get a look, an early look, first look, depending on, being appropriate, on various private offerings. So no pressure. You never have to buy a thing. It's simply another benefit or perk to being part of our community. We're also going to have some free future airdrops. We're working with some projects right now that are going to make that possible. And so unlike the VanEck NFT that you cannot sell, list, buy, etc., any of these partner related drops, you could do what you want with them. You could use them, whether it's a play to earn game, or you could sell them on OpenSea. So we're hoping to add some real value there with some of these airdrops. And then kind of on the same lines, we'll have some collaborative partner whitelist opportunities. So basically, these would be projects that JP and I vet. We make sure that they're legit. And if we think that they're a special project, one that we could vouch for, we'll try to get some whitelist minting opportunities for members of our community. So that's kind of the base level membership. Some folks who have the NFT are like, okay, great, I have the NFT, what about me? Well, the official NFT holder benefit will be the initial invitations to all of our experiences and events, right? So what do I mean by that? If your NFT has the background of the New York Stock Exchange, there's a good chance that you'll get an early invitation to participating in a bell ringing ceremony down the road. Same goes if we have a VanEck forest trip and you have a sustainability background, you might get an invite. Party backgrounds mean party invites. And in fact, our next scheduled event will be on September 8th as of now at the VanEck home office with a partner project called Afropolitan. And the traits for getting sort of the early access invitation will be, do you have a home office background? Do you have VanEck eyes within your mask? And also those folks holding the rare Guardian edition NFT. So that's just a quick update on utility. I'm going to touch on it in Twitter later today, put together a few added details, but that's what we have.
Do you want me to play the third video?
I mean, you know what? I'd rather play it on Twitter later.
Cool. Yeah, it's like,
right, because I want to hear more from Lucas or any other places we want to go. I know you have a couple trivia questions yourself and maybe a lightning round, right? So.
Oh yeah, lightning round. I've got Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the 2 trivia questions, get them out of the way. We got about 10 more minutes, right? So let's get the 2 trivia questions out of the way. JP's trivia question. This should be. You got 29 people on here. You guys should be able to figure this out. What famous investor called Bitcoin rat poison squared? Rat poison squared. Who said that about Bitcoin? Lucas, I think you have a VanEck NFT community. I don't know if you can answer this one, Lucas.
I have one. I have one, but to be honest, I do not want to Google. I don't know the answer, and I don't want to Google it in order to miss this page. So no. I want to be here.
Yeah,
so
we got a winner, and by the name of it, it looks like a VanEcker. So we have a VanEcker on the chat.
That's big.
So I think that's the first VanEcker who's won a community NFT. So yeah, BPOAP.
Nice, Brad.
Good job.
Well done.
That's why you're on the top of the game right now, buddy. Good job. Thanks for participating. All right, last question for me, and then we'll go back to Lucas. Final thoughts kind of thing. All right, last question. What famous mathematician and computer scientist is currently highlighted on the VanEck community NFT page?
And maybe while they're thinking about that answer, one of our community members on Twitter this morning figured out that there is a puzzle on that page. So yet another first for VanEck, the first global asset manager to put a puzzle on their website. And I hope somebody can solve it.
Yeah, go to the
That's great.
Go,
I wanna check that down.
so,
Is it a puzzle that if you solve you get
you
something?
get something cool.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll leak it.
won that one. Lunatech.
Very good. If whoever solves it, so Alan Turing was both born and passed away in the month of June. So, and we also called our video the key for the third video. You're gonna win Alan Turing. You're gonna win a historic one-of-one Alan Turing avatar. We only have up to, I don't know, I think around 20 historic one-of-ones which come with a little more access than some of the utility I mentioned earlier. So it'll definitely be a coveted prize for someone in our community.
And okay, I've been wanting to talk about this. So back, I want to say like 2003, 2004, I was in college, and I was obsessed with this band called Radiohead. And Tom York is really into the internet, right? Like as a thing, as a platform, he was really into the internet. And their website, they had like an offshoot website, and it was just, there was nothing to do. You were just like clicking around and kind of not doing puzzles, but you were walking down these hallways, and it was all built by him, like, and very, with Stanley Donwood, the artist, and stuff like that. It's very artistic, and it was just like you're just kind of like in this different space, and you're not reading the news, and you're not playing a video game. It was just really weird and cool. And Matt, when you set this whole thing up with this contest, where there's puzzles and they're not all in the same place, and you have to kind of click around and look for things on a website. It really reminded me of the old Radiohead website. I think it was called Waste Management. Matt, you just went blank, but
yeah,
no.
Do
you remember that, Lucas? Do you remember that website? Do you remember that at all?
I do, and I do remember that Radiohead also was the first one to propose a direct-to-consume download these
the
CDs.
Free, yeah, that in Rainbows was free, and you picked you picked how much you wanted to pay for it. Yeah,
exactly. Well, Tom York is not there because he's not smart, right? And to be honest, when you said that, it resonated myself in what I'm seeing in this Web3 ecosystem, what we might see in Paris in July. I mean, there is some form of optimism, craziness, curiosity, value being created, and we're seeing, and that's why we're seeing weird stuff. Sorry. And yeah, I mean, not everything that is weird and curious is good, but stretching the mind, stretching. It's all about this internet that we're consuming, this Skype that is exactly the same of the Teams, that is exactly the same of the Google Meet, because it was fitted to to work in a certain way. We do not have the creativity that we had on Web 1 anymore. We don't have even the Flash Macromedia games that people were playing, because it was new and there was no an actual avenue for money. People were doing crazy stuff, and I think that we learned that the internet is part of our life, our regular life. And now the question is, how do we actually create value out of it instead of the big ones, the big companies? But today's big companies were the medieval landlords. It existed, and then it changed. And I think this is happening. It's gonna change, and people will have the tools to produce content and to monetize content or to exchange value online. And exciting times are coming.
It also reminds me of, you guys remember that movie The Net with Sandra Bullock back in like 95?
Yeah.
You remember when she says like the little pie symbol at the bottom left corner of her browser. She clicks it and she's like down the wormhole, and then she's like involved in the conspiracy. That's the kind of stuff that is missing today in the internet.
Well, not any longer.
Not anymore. Not VanEck.
It's on our website. I want to add, there's an Illuminati NFT, and if you have the NFT, you got an invite to the party this week in New York. You show up to the party. There are people dressed as Illuminati members. I'm pretty sure many of them were paid actors, and they're there to help you solve a puzzle or scavenger hunt, trying to really create this like immersive experience. So just under the guise of weird stuff that we were getting at, like it's right up there, but I think people really enjoy it.
It's just fun. It's just like, okay, we're all on, we're on the New York Times website or the Journal or whatever, and then you go onto Twitter, the social media. We're working towards something that isn't fully defined, right? It's not fully crystallized, and it's exciting. So yeah, and that's what POAP to me is a part of that, right? It's very much a part of that kind of leading edge.
Let's do lightning round.
Okay, lightning round. So okay, my just off the top of my head, like lightning round for Lucas here is that one of the first times we met, and the last guest Rolf was like this too, like international man of mystery, citizen of the world, right? So like the first time I met you on a Zoom was you were in Florence in a cafe, and I'm in my like little house in New York, right? And you're in Florence, and you can just feel the energy, like glasses clinking and people talking. It was probably like 3 or 4 in the afternoon your time. And then and then we were talking about where you're like you're from Argentina, correct? So you're from Argentina,
Right.
and you're in Florence, and then you're like, and yeah, and my girlfriend's really mad at me. She really wants to come back, come back home. Like, where is that at? Oh yeah, I live in Paris. And it's just like I don't really have a specific question, but like that, it's like you're from Argentina, you're in Florence for doing stuff, and you're based in Paris. Like, what is that like? What is it like to be somebody who lives like that? Because that's not me. What can you say about that?
Well, to be honest, it fits my personality, I guess. That's why I'm here also. I have the chance personally to have been educated on a bicultural world. My family is from Argentina, but my history, I was in France at 6 months old. And then I learned how to speak French naturally and Spanish at home. And then we got back to Argentina, and then being back in Argentina, I still made the French high school where I met my co-founders of POAP 25 years ago. I always enjoy this European no borders-ish situation where a train of distance will take you to London, and to the other direction you go to Italy, and if you take a bus you get to Spain, and if you take a plane you can get to Portugal. I guess it's I'm biased. I have Italian heritage, and I guess I enjoy it. It's part of my life. And this Web3 edge situation, history moment that we're living, that takes me here in New York, Florence, and to be honest, I'm going where the curious minds are, and because of the internet, that curious mind can be found everywhere. And so, it's all about engaging with curiosity, being a bit of a, I guess it's not for everyone. And to be honest, sometimes I'm saying to myself, man, I should relax a bit. It's been many weeks since I haven't had maybe 15 minutes for myself to read something that I wanted to read. There's always new stuff, new conversation, past conversation emails that I need to reply, some of them to you guys. But I'm also aware that I'm in this situation where I don't have kids, and there is a burgeoning cultural, technological situation, and there's better ways to do it, but also I would be completely missing out if I weren't doing this way. That is, taking a plane, taking a lot of trains, and meeting with you guys in your city, in your country, in the Marriott, and then going to the Florence basement to distribute POAPs, and then London again to this super private club, And then next week I'm going to Berlin. Oh, in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, there's a really cool exhibition that you should go to. Any fans of VanEck community, if you are in Amsterdam, go to the next museum, NXT Museum in North. Disruptive, and of course there is a couple of POAPs to claim there. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy curiosity. I'm curious myself, and I'm in this situation, privileged situation, where I get to like take some shots in this amazing project that POAP is, that takes me to discuss with you guys and see what you have in mind and how you're reinventing your businesses, how you're collaborating with the movement, with everyone's fails and successes. But something is changing, and yeah, I enjoy working with cool people like you.
Are we doing it right?
You're doing it right, man.
Good. Listen, thank you so much for coming on today. This has been awesome. I think it's also been just really informative, right? If people are new to the concept. So thank you for spending time. And yeah. I know we look forward to engaging more with you and your team and making POAPs a part of our strategy. So thank you.
Yeah, Lucas, I had a great time. I don't like to come prepared with tons of questions. I just like to throw out whatever comes up into my head. So I had a really fun time talking to you today. Thank you.
Same guys. And well, you know, I'm here in New York. I'm also in your email, and let's make it happen, man. There is tons of communities waiting to be onboarded or to build a story again, as we said before, with the breadcrumbs of the POAPs. And you guys doing puzzles on the web excites me even more. So let's make it happen.
Awesome.
Hold on, I'm going to type one. So people are asking, how do I... So Lunatech, email nft@vaneck.com if you want a trivia question. That's it. Okay, guys. Lucas, we're going to talk right after this call. Thank you very much. We'll call you right back. Everybody else, have a great day. Have a happy weekend. Happy